help with anything, let us know and we'll be more than happy to help you. Is everyone good to go underway? Okay, it seems that everyone is good to go underway. So today I'm going to be talking to you about maximizing your Toastmasters meetings for growth. We're in we've just gone through the first month and I can't believe it's already been July. Can anyone believe that we're into August? The year is almost coming to an end. Well, not really, but we're already in August. How many of you have started your club success plan?
Yes.
Am I seeing no hands? Oh, I'm glad. Okay, I'm starting to see little hands, little paws raised because when's the club success plan due, my friends? I'm going to pick on Leonie.
September.
Sorry?
September.
What
So this
date?
uh the
So
due
yes, September is the deadline.
the deadline
Yep,
is
September.
September, but we
What
already
day? What day though? What day?
I think it's 30 September.
That is correct. September the 30th is definitely correct. If you do not submit your club success plan by September the 30th and you hit October the 1st, well, technically on October the 1st it's September the 30th. So once you hit October the 2nd, and it will be October the 1st in the USA, guess what? If your club still gets 25 members, gets 10 goals achieved, but has not submitted its club success plan, you will not be a distinguished club. I just want to reiterate that because this is something that has been, drilled into our heads at the district level around the world. So today, as I said, I'm going to help you love, create meetings that members love, and also guests want to join. So I want to ask any of you, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want or if you have ever sat through a very boring meeting. Risky, lie. Okay, I'll start with risky. What did it feel like when you went to a boring meeting? Tell us something about why you were bored at this meeting and why.
Okay, so I've been club hopping in the several clubs, but I think all of the other clubs have followed the same format, which is good, but lack of innovations, I think. For example, I hear some something about Toastmaster Colorado meeting that they have some buzzer beater, and I think it's fun when other clubs can add their innovations regardless of the Toastmaster meeting format. But overall, I think somehow the meetings quite boring to me.
Awesome. Mr. Tom, which is of course Lai. Lai, we've been to some very boring meetings in our lives. What's the most boring you've ever been to? Don't name and shame the club, but
Uh,
why was it boring?
the one is what we call a physical club or of offline, where the meeting is where the members all are too serious, look serious. When even you are talking, all are looking at you, eyes on you. It's like is you need to be so like all serious mode. Sometimes along the topics, it bores me out.
Yeah, look, I've been to some really interesting meetings, not only online but in person. Some of the physical meetings, I have to admit, can get really boring, especially if they go for more than an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now, there's nothing wrong with a 2 hour meeting, but let's be honest, sometimes it is just absolutely ridiculously boring. And I just sit there and I go, what are we trying to achieve in this? You hear the same speeches and it's like, hello, my name is Alicia, and today I'm going to talk to you about. Has anyone experienced that where people just don't have any energy when they're going to the meeting? Hands up if you've ever been to a meeting like that where there's just monotone and you're sitting there and going, oh my gosh, yep, exactly. So for me, that is something that I consider boring. I like engagement. For me, I like the meetings to change, the agendas to change. I love theme meetings. This is one of the reasons I love theme meetings because you just don't know what's going to happen. Lai and I are in a club together online. It's in Malaysia. It's online. And one of the awesome things about that particular club is every single meeting is different, isn't it, Lai? Every single week we have a theme of the meeting, and it's the power series, the power of this, the power of that. We've had the power of pizza, the power of hope, the power of travel. There's something every single week that we do that is fun. And as this guy that's sitting down the front listening to Max says, Max, I'm bored and will not be returning. Usually a guest will not say that they're bored, they just won't show up. And that for me is probably the ultimate sin. If someone does not return to your meeting because they're bored, that pretty much says how much they value your particular meeting. All right. So why does it matter? Why focus on meetings? Now, I'm going to get a couple of people to read out these squares. The first one, I'm going to get Bruno. Bruno is actually one of my area directors this year. So you're very lucky to meet one of my area directors this year. Bruno, are you able to read the first square, which says this meeting or the meeting is your product?
Where is this square, Madam Division Director?
Okay. What I might do is, because it's on a PowerPoint, because I'm doing PowerPoint, I'll get someone else to read it out for me. Live, I might get you to read out all the 4 points, if that's okay. And then we're going to talk about them.
Sure. The meeting is your product. It is what people experience first. Great meetings equals member retention plus guest conversion. Consistency builds a strong club reputation. And a great meeting is free marketing. Every guest is a potential member. Back to you, Alicia.
Thank you very much, Lai. So yes, a meeting is a product, whether we like it or not. From a business point of view, because I used to do business, I used to be an insurance broker for 20 plus years here in Sydney. Won't be doing that again, let me tell you. But when I go to a Toastmasters meeting, the agenda is part of your product. Your experience at the meeting is a product. Your whole meeting is a product. Think of it like traveling. If you go on travel, the product is the actual trip itself. Imagine having the worst experience ever. Not a nice product, is it? Not a nice experience. Never going to go back to that destination again. Great meetings. Yeah, you'll have people wanting to stay because the energy's high. Plus, you'll get the guests in. I was at a meeting recently here in Sydney, and Bruno was also at it. They had 6 guests at the meeting. We think 2 will probably convert into members. They had 6 guests, and they had signed up 5 new members from the previous meeting. It was amazing because they sold a really good product. Consistency, having a consistent meeting, making sure the agenda is filled, will actually build a strong club and will give you a strong reputation. A great meeting is free marketing. If you have a great agenda, and let's just say having an agenda is really important, especially if you're in a physical meeting, it sells because it's a PR and marketing tool. Every guest that walks through your door should always be seen as the next person that may be the Toastmasters International President. Does anyone have any questions, or do you want me to continue on? Fantastic. We'll continue on. So this is how I like to describe your meeting. Your meeting is your growth engine. You start with the meeting, you have your happy members, you get guest referrals, and then club growth. That's what we're talking about today. Even though we're in the PQD wheelhouse, club growth and the PQD wheelhouse actually go together. Happy members keeps the retention. Retention also grows the club. Guests see the happy members. They want to be a part of this fun, and they want to grow the club with you. As I said, that particular club that I made a mention of previously here in Sydney, they've got 30 plus members. They always get 10 out of 10. They're actually one of the top clubs in the world. They always get 10 out of 10, and they've been doing that for 25 plus years. There's only about 15 to 20 of those in the world. So imagine going to a meeting that's like that every single time that you're at a Toastmasters meeting. Who wants a bit of that? Who wants to go to a meeting where you're always 10 out of 10, you're always getting 6 speakers on the agenda? Does anyone want to see? Yeah, 6 speakers every single meeting. They meet on a fortnightly basis or a bi-weekly basis. They have 30 plus members. It's hard to get on the speaking a speaking slot there, as we have been told. Does your club talk about growth? Now, I'm going to pick on a couple of people here, and I am looking because we have quite a number of people in the room now. So I'll start with Karen. Karen KG. Does your club talk about growth and how to grow itself?
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Alicia. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, you are.
Okay. We do talk about growth since I'm an exco in my club, right? So we do talk about growth, but I guess the problem we have is we are one of the oldest club in Jakarta, Jakarta Toastmaster Club, right? So we have a lot of older members and we have a lot of influx of new members right now. So our memberships are growing, but the speaking slots, as you mentioned, is being taken by the same person again and again. So the new members are actually, because the new members, I don't know whether they're shy or whether they need to be pushed to basically take roles and speaking. So yeah, I wanna share on that, and I wanna have your idea on that.
Okay, so I am very strict. If I'm a VPE, a person is not going to get a speaking slot every single meeting. I'm sorry, but if you've got 30 plus members, no, there has to be a draw, a line in the sand, and you have to draw the line in the sand and say, thank you for being a great member. There are other members that we also need to cater for. If they or he or she, if they are very enthusiastic, my encouragement, this is where I actually encourage joining a second club. My encouragement to that member would be to join a second club, an advanced club. But we are going to continue on now. Does anyone also talk about club growth, about growth in their club, or how to grow their membership? There's a lot of people going, Rona?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. We always say that people have different priorities, so we cannot expect 100% of our members will renew. So that's why we need to keep growing. In addition to replacing those we may lose, but we also need to grow. So that's why we have to keep marketing, to keep going for marketing and recruiting new members. So growth is always our objective.
Excellent. And I think every well-run meeting, as we say, will plant seeds for future members. How are we actually marketing? We're not going to talk about how we market and PR today, but how are we actually doing it? That's another question you have to keep in the back of your mind. Is the VPPR doing their role? Is the VPPR talking to the VPM? What are the two doing together? Is the VPE creating a grand agenda? What are they doing to create excellence in the club? Is the president overseeing as the CEO of the club what growth is? Is every other role player doing their role? Is the secretary assisting the VPE if they're stuck with Basecamp? Is the treasurer actually taking the payments and making the payments to Toastmasters International? Is the sergeant-at-arms opening up the meeting and creating a dynamic space and setting up the meeting in time? What are the 7 club officers doing to help with the growth? Because growth is not one person, it's all the executive, plus it's all the membership's responsibility. Growth isn't one person, it's everyone. So what does make a great meeting? It's always interesting to see what makes a great meeting. Now, we've talked a bit about this. We want to see a full agenda and we want to see an actual agenda. We don't want to show up to a meeting where there's a piece of paper, as a couple of us have been to recently. Naming and shaming won't be happening today, but I've been to a club recently that had one agenda and they only had one piece of paper and not a name was assigned on that agenda. How do you think we felt when we went? There was a couple of us that went. When we went to the meeting, it was embarrassing. It was very, very embarrassing because it didn't showcase a quality club. There was no names on the agenda. There was no role takers. So for me, going in, if I was a guest and I saw no one there, I'd be like, what's going on here? And then if I went the next day, as they did have a guest at this particular meeting, they went the next day to another club down the road, saw a full agenda, saw 20 people at the meeting, saw what fun and quality was. They didn't sign up to the one with the one agenda with blank spaces on the agenda. They joined the club the next night because they saw what quality was and they saw what fun and engaging was. So that's why we have to think about how we have our agenda, always doing the forward agenda at the meeting, at the end of the meeting. Roles, making sure that roles are assigned. This goes with that blank agenda. We'll make sure that roles are actually assigned at the meeting. And it's not just roles. Everyone's delivering to the best of their ability at that meeting. And of course, quality speeches where people are actually delivering speeches using pathways. We're all in Toastmasters here. So my big thing is if you're having a meeting and no one's delivering a speech from pathways, what is your club doing? Why is it failing its members? Because Pathways is our educational program. You also want to make sure it's supportive. It's a supportive environment. Everyone's included, that people are talking to the guests, that they can feel the club culture in the room. Now, let me share a story of something that happened recently to me here in Sydney. I've been to a few of the clubs recently as the division director. I've got 19 clubs in my division and I oversee 3 area directors. Yeah, I've got 19 clubs here in Sydney that I oversee, all in person except for one, which meets, actually 2 that meet hybrid. And it's been really interesting. And I've been able to say very interesting and excellent. One of my area directors is here with me today because he wanted to come and see what I was talking about. And he's got one of the better areas in our division. And yeah, he's got one of the best areas and he's also got 2 of the best clubs in our division. I'm not going to talk about his clubs, but I'm going to talk about one of the clubs in one of the other areas, which has a vacant spot with the area director role. Now, I went to the club, didn't know everyone, probably only knew 2 people, the secretary and the immediate past president. As soon as I got there, they made me feel like I was a part of their meeting. This is the best club in our division in regards to the president and the club executive officers who work and are really well connected. As soon as I got there and the president saw me, she grabbed my arm and she said, "Hey, Alicia, we're going to go meet every single person in the room." How do you think I felt when I went to that Toastmasters meeting? Life?
Feel good and that you feel appreciated as a guest coming into the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've made a comment to her and I made her feel very special last weekend when we had our division council meeting, which she attended. I said to her, that was the most welcoming and friendliest club I have been to so far. I made to feel appreciated. I got to meet every single member in your club. You took yourself out of your comfort zone to actually introduce me to everyone because she is quite shy, but you made me feel so appreciated. At the end, they wanted a group photo, and that group photo was chairs in the front, pizza in the background. It was a phenomenal meeting, and based on our experience, or based on my experience and the way that they catered to the guests that night, there was 2 of us. Who wouldn't want to join that club? Every single person that came through the door was given an agenda. Every single person was given a speaking slot, or not just a speaking slot, but a speaking role. So for me, that was quality. And I can't wait to see what they're going to deliver this year, because I do believe that they may get President's Distinguished or Smedley Distinguished this year because of the way that they connect with the members and the guests. So for me, that was Hospitality 101. I should get her to do a speech on it because what she did that night will always stay in my memory. Some of these are the 3 key these are the 3 key frameworks that we want to work with. Planning ahead, engaging everyone, and creating wow moments. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this. So I went to a club in the USA in Vegas, and they have this thing called the wow factor. Yeah, it's going to sound a little bit crazy. They go 1, 2, 3, wow. And it was a little bit crazy when people did it on the screen, but they record the meetings, and that is something that they keep to retain their members. Everyone knows the wow factor. So I'm going to get everyone who is on screen. Let's do this together. I know it sounds crazy, but let's do it together. Let's see if we can do the wow factor and do what they actually created at this club in Vegas. Jesse's going to love me. Jesse Oakley the third is going to love me for doing this. So can everyone unmute? Bring smiles, bring energy. Come on. You guys are in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. I want us to go. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay.
Wow!
All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. How energizing is that? It's it's quite crazy, isn't it? That something so simple and so fun actually made that club a whole lot more wholesome, a lot more energized. Anything that they found that was a wow factor, they would do the 1, 2, 3. Wow! And I actually go to that club just for the sake of going and hearing the wow factor every couple of weeks. So I can be part of that energy and be included. So thinking about planning ahead, you want to publish the agenda at least a week in advance. Who here publishes their agenda at least a week in advance or 24 hours after their meeting that they've just been at, and they send out the soft agenda? I'm not getting any hands up. Okay. Ooh, naughty, naughty, naughty. That's okay. We are busy. Though, based on quality clubs and having been a program quality director, the best clubs usually post their agenda at least a week in advance, and 24 hours they provide a soft agenda to the meeting. They also confirm the role players early. Lia, as I said, and I are at a club in Malaysia. We had a fantastic VPE last year who was very hardworking. We've got another fantastic VPE this year. There are 52 straight weeks, one every single week on a Monday from 12:30 to 1:30 Malaysian time, which is 2:30 to 3:30 Sydney time, or it would be 11:30 to 12:30 in Indonesian time. We meet. The agenda gets sent out pretty much within 24 to 48 hours after our meeting. We have to assign the roles by Friday or Saturday. If we don't, we are pretty much screwed. So we need to have this agenda on time. And I know the club executive are very strict about it. Confirming the role players early helps prepare the speaker with their evaluators. We don't have one evaluator for our speaker. We have 2, content and delivery. We also encourage members to bring guests. We really do encourage members to bring guests, and we get a whole stack of guests from all around the world. We've had people from the Ukraine, we've had people from weird and wonderful places in Africa, and also all around the world in weird and wonderful places. We can get up to 40 to 50 people at our meetings sometimes. We haven't had that larger crowd in recent weeks, but we can get large crowds when we have our educational session once a month. So making sure that you encourage people to bring guests, because it's not just one person's responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility. Engaging everyone. Rotating the roles. So this is with Karen. Karen, everyone deserves to learn and grow as a member. One person shouldn't be hogging the speaking slots. Pairing new members with mentors. We've got this great club here in Sydney called Concord West Toastmasters. I still consider it the best in the world in regards to the mentoring program that they offer. I've been everywhere and anywhere and everywhere in the world, as you know, 1,500 meetings around the world in 5 years. I've been to over 100 countries online. I've seen everything. I've seen mentoring programs everywhere, but nothing comes anywhere near Concord West. They pair them in such a unique way, and they have a speaker profile or a mentoring profile. And you can pick your mentor based on if you want to be a professional speaker, if you want to be a leader, what you want to do outside in your professional and personal lives. Having a mentor is someone that walks with you side by side, hand by hand, and it helps you become the next best version of yourself. Another thing is making sure that you recognize members' achievements every meeting. I mentioned that club that always gets 10 out of 10 and every single thing. So we went to a meeting and I still will keep on talking about it. And I'm sure Bruno's going to tell them when we go to their next meeting or when he goes to their next meeting. We get ribbons when we show up to their meetings. Can everyone see the ribbon I'm holding? Can I get a thumbs up to see if everyone can say that they can see the ribbon I'm holding?
Yes,
Yes,
welcome.
the green ribbon.
Okay, it's a green ribbon, but it has been Toastmasters approved by Toastmasters International. Strange but true. This is the ribbon that this particular club, Burwood Toastmasters Club, the one I said is in the top, probably the top 15 in the world, gives to every single guest that walks through their doors. I could go to their club 5 or 6 times as a guest and I'd still get a green ribbon every time I go to their meeting. They make the person who gets this particular ribbon stand out the front with all the other guests with the president having a photo, and it's publicized on their social media. Who wants to join a club like that where you can actually get a guest ribbon and then you get a gold one if you become a member? And if you win a best speaker, best table topics, or best evaluator, you end up with a ribbon like that. I won best table topics there. So I ended up with ribbons, like all these ribbons. As you can tell, really, I actually appreciate them. I kept them by the side because they're a great talking point. So I want to ask, how do you actually engage with people? How do you engage with your members? How do you recognize your members? So does anyone want to volunteer? Or am I going to have to voluntold? Sorry, voluncourage. Rona?
Yes, okay. Usually what we do is that when they complete a level, we make them a poster, post it in the social media, and also we congratulate them in the WhatsApp group for the members to say about congratulations on their achievement. And also when they finish
Fantastic.
their pathway, either level, pathway, or DTM, whatever recognition they can get. And also not only that, when they are the best speaker or evaluator or table topic in any meetings, in our meeting, then we congratulate them and post the photos.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Does anyone else do something similar, or do they give them a ribbon? Do they take photos of what they're doing at the meetings and recognize their members? Okay, Bruno. Bruno, did you want to share what you do at Sydney Sunday morning?
Certainly. We have the president's certificate. It's very subjective to the person. However, we give this certificate to the person that had the best session. And in the next meeting, you have to present that. So when you win the certificate, you present to someone else in the next meeting, and you get to pick the person that you resonates the best, that you think the person had the best session.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So recognizing with a president's certificate, recognizing with ribbons, recognizing with photos, a poster that you put on social media. Some great ideas. Why don't we put those into the chat box? I'll get either Lucy or Lai to put that into the chat box because we wanted to keep a running tab of what this is, because then we can download before you have to watch this again, this recording again. So we want to make sure that we recognize, as I'll say, recognize, because if you don't recognize your members and their achievements, guess what? They're leaving. I've seen it happen too many times. They want to be appreciated. The next one is creating the wow moments, the wow moments. Making sure that we actually have a strong Toastmaster of the day. We don't want the one that goes, "Hi, welcome to Toastmasters. I am your Toastmaster of the day. And today I'm going to talk to you about the wow factor. Hey, Lucy, you're the general evaluator. What are you going to do that's going to wow us?" Can you imagine? And I have been to meetings that are like that. Seriously, there are some people who just speak in a very monotone voice. You want to make sure that you have exciting guest speakers. One of my clubs does it, as I said, my club in Malaysia, advanced #Unend Speakers, advanced club, we have once a month the masterclass series. This has been going on for the last 4 years since the club first chartered, and we always have a guest speaker on the 4th or 5th Monday of the month. They are usually a past international director, past international president, a world champion of public speaking, or an accredited speaker, or some sort of recognized dignitary in Toastmasters. And we always enjoy that meeting because we always learn something. It's always got the wow factor, which is cool. Table topics, creative. Now, I personally hate the whole spin the wheel. Please, please don't do spin the wheel if I ever come, because I do not like spin the wheel table topics and the whole PowerPoints. I think it's great that you have PowerPoints. Table topics need to be an oratorical thing. But if you're going to do something really creative, like say my thing that I am known for globally, Pecha Kucha, which I do quite often at my club in Malaysia, yes, you can have PowerPoint. Making sure that they're fun, and if you've got a theme of the meeting, using that for the theme of the meeting. And another one, ending with a strong closing that leaves your guests inspired. Leaving with a closing so that they remember. Remember, we have to not only remember the member, but we also have to remember the guest. What's the impact that they're doing? What's the impact that we're giving them to sell to them? What's the product that we're selling? Do we sell a good product to our guests? Now I'm going to ask Lucy this. Give us a wow moment that's happened in your club recently, whether it be Pacific or one of your other clubs. What's been a wow moment that's happened recently?
I think one of the wow moments was our new member, like literally new. He delivered a speech that all of us were impressed. Yeah, the
Cool.
language. And he's so calm, and we all voted her as the speaker, despite having seasoned Toastmasters who are also delivering prepared speeches. So it's like a young new member who really prepared well. And yeah, that was a wow moment for a seasoned Toastmasters.
Yay. Rizky. Because Rizky has got the coolest name. It's not Risky, it's Rizky. Rizky, what's been a wow moment that's happened at your club in this last month?
That's a good question. I remember that our members has delivered icebreaker, which is so funny because he talked about his experience being a civil servant in Indonesia, and we learned a lot about how civil servants work. And that speech is, for me personally, it's quite memorable because he not only delivered in funny way, but we got insight. That's the wow moment. One of the wow moments.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Rizky. We're going to continue on because I've just seen the lights. The guest experience. What is your club doing to engage your guests and visiting Toastmasters? Because trust me, visiting Toastmasters may be coming for a visit, but they also may be checking out to have a look and see what's the next club they want to join. Hands up if you're in more than one club. Okay, I admit I'm in more than one club. I'm in 5 clubs. I have to admit I'm in 5 clubs. It's a bit sad. But they all have a different point. They all have a different niche, and I have reasons for them. My club in Malaysia is my advanced club, one of my 2 advanced clubs. I love going there because I get to speak to my family, the fam from Malaysia, Indonesia, everywhere. You name it, every country is represented in that club. I think we've got about 9 different nationalities overall in that club. And it's always a great meeting. It's always fun. It's always exciting. We have some excellent members in that club, some excellent speakers, and we've got the club growth director and the program quality director there. So we produce leaders as well. We've also got district, I think we've got a past district champion in there as well. So we are the the full 360. Every single thing is in that club. Not thing, but every single part of Toastmasters is in that club. I'm in a debating club in the USA, in California, an advanced club with 3 past international directors. And most of them are over the age of 60, 50 to 60. I'm one of the young ones. I'm actually the youngest member there. Yeah, it can get lonely, especially when you're the only Aussie there trying to debate with Americans on gun control, of all things. But it's absolutely fabulous because I have to take it a notch up. That's my club. And I go to so many clubs around the world, as we know. When I was in my heyday back in the day when we all started going online, I was going to 7 to 8 meetings a day. Yes. Yes. I don't do that anymore. Don't worry, Bruno. I'm not doing that anymore. But it's absolutely, everyone thinks it's insane. Yeah, it is insane. But I absolutely love going to the Toastmasters meetings. So having a fun and engaging meeting, active engagement equals new member, especially if you've got the guests coming. So what are you doing during your meetings? Are you just having prepared speeches, impromptu speaking, and evaluation? Or are you doing more? Are you taking it to that next level? Are you doing the wow factor? I'm hoping you're doing the wow factor. Here's a guest checklist. Now, this is something that I actually used when I grew the Moments of Truth module, the 6 pillars of Moments of Truth, first impressions, etc. Do our guests feel welcomed when they arrive at our meeting? What are we doing to make our guests feel welcome? Does everyone greet the guests? Yes? I hope we are greeting the guests, because if you're not greeting the guests, I don't want to come to your club. Please make sure that you're greeting the guests, because yes, you want to make sure you're greeting them. Is someone or a group assigned to greet the guests when they arrive at the meeting? As I said, with that lovely club, that president who made me feel welcome, everyone came around to meet me, but the president grabbed my arm and literally took me around the room. And I was seated next to the VPE and one of their new members, because they wanted me to be with that new member who had just joined in 3-4 months prior. Who is assigned to sit with the guests during the meeting? I'm going to ask Leonie, who sits with the guests at your meeting or online? Who is partnered with the guests?
So, starting on this turn, we are assigning welcoming ambassadors for our club. So there are 3 people on site and 1 person, because we always hybrid or online. So 1 person online and 3 people on site to welcoming the guests and give them name tag and welcoming and give them the experience of our club and make sure that they felt welcome.
Wow, thank you. Now, I've just read in the chat that Joyce has said, we have a musician. We sing a song and play a guitar. We have a club song. Oh my God. Joyce's, are you able to turn your sound? We want to hear you. Can you sing the club song, please?
I'm not really cannot sing yet.
That's okay. I don't care. We don't care.
No,
would love
because that song is just newly implemented. So that is the second meeting. This is just newly for July terms.
Okay. Who do we talk to about coming to your meeting to listen to the club song, if it's online or hybrid? Is it online or hybrid, or is it just in person?
Offline.
It's
Lucy,
online?
twice a month. Twice in a month.
Okay. Which club is this?
Coaching bilingual.
Oh, I'm coming to Kuching. Who wants to go to Kuching Bilingual to hear about this club song? I really am dying to go to listen to the club song. Bruno, I think we need to have an expedition or an excursion, and we're going to go and sing a club song.
You
Can
are
I
most
sing?
welcome.
Oh, can I sing?
Yes.
I'm
Oh
the
my God,
songwriter.
Thomas. Yes, please.
I'm the
Yeah, my
Sing the
songwriter.
song. Oh my God,
Sorry,
yes.
in the
Please, please,
office.
please.
Just for the first Larry, okay? Let
Okay.
me see. Take my time. Oops, sorry.
Take your time.
Where is it? I keep where is it? Oh,
It's all
somewhere
good. Take your
maybe.
time.
Okay, you just say something.
Okay,
Let me
thank
look
you.
for
Go.
the stuff.
Okay, I'll continue. Let me know when you're about to sing.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So another thing is, so we're about to hear a song, which I never thought I'd be doing at a Toastmasters meeting, that someone would have written a song for their club. But hey, you know, we're here to understand all interesting things. Do we introduce the guests at the beginning, and do we ask them for feedback at the end? And yeah, it's really important. President should be asking the guests to stand up at the beginning, and they should be offered to do a table topic if there is time. Always remember the members come first. Your own members come first with table topics if they don't have an assigned role. However, if there is an opportunity and there is space for a guest to speak in table topics, get them to do a table topic. And follow up. Are we following up 48 hours after the meeting? Really important. Do you have a guest book or online? Do you have a Google sheet or a Google form to follow up the members? Really, 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 really important. These
Okay,
are some
try,
things that, yeah, we can hear you. Are we ready to go for this song?
We were so glad you are here. Let's clap and say hello. Welcome, everybody. This is your home. No matter how the world changes, this is your home where you belong. No matter how time passes, you will never be forgotten. We are so proud you are here. Let's share and inspire. Welcome everybody, oh and you.
Thank you so much,
I don't see the
Thomas.
bridge lah. The bridge
That's
should be.
okay.
It's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you,
Joyce.
Thomas. All right, we'll continue on. So these are some of the common pitfalls in respect to a meeting, in respect to your meeting. If you want to avoid, these are some of the common pitfalls you want to avoid. Empty roles, as I've spoken about before. Running overtime. Has anyone been to a meeting that has run overtime? Yep. I went to one recently and it was 45 minutes overtime. Please do not do that, because a great meeting starts on time and a great meeting ends on time. Anyone who knows me, and some of you know what I'm like with respect to this, I do not like meetings that start late and end late. You know what I will come out with, especially with my general evaluation report. I pick it up all the time. I'm like, it's one of my things. Unprepared speakers. Oh, sorry, I'm not prepared today. Oh, I'll deliver a speech, but I'm not sure if I'm really well prepared. Clubs that don't recognize the guests. I went to one recently. It was online. Didn't even recognize me. Didn't recognize any of the guests. I stayed for about 30 minutes. No one was recognized. Guess what? I left. I left the meeting, and then they sent me a message. How come you left? Because I wasn't recognized. I said didn't feel appreciated. We're so sorry. Can you come back? I said, no, the damage is done. Sorry. I have expectations. You haven't met my expectations, so I'm not staying. I know that's harsh, but it's the expectation I have. It's what I want to see when I'm at a Toastmasters meeting. And lastly, the follow-up. If you don't follow up, people are not going to stay, and people are not going to join as a member. Now, I want to quickly see if there's been any success stories recently of converting a guest into a member. Has anyone had a guest that joined recently that became a member because they had the wow factor at their club? Joyce's, what happened that made your club the wow factor? And why did they join? I think you're on mute, Joyce's.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the new term BPM for this term. So we always make the meeting very happy. Like last meeting is a purple night. It's a birthday baby for July. So we sing and then we have we have 5 speakers, but end out is 4. But the environment is very happy. So after that, actually at that night we have 9 guests. Then 2 sign up, already paid the fee. So we're going to register them for the next time.
Awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. So again, that club that I was talking about, Bruno has unfortunately just dropped off randomly into the stratosphere. I think he's coming back. Because people were receiving ribbons, they signed up 5 new members at the beginning of July. 5. And we're quite scared to know how many more they're going to sign up, but I'm not sure how many more. 5 people joined in July. That's a lot of people, if you think about it. That's already the quota done for the August-September membership campaign, or the membership campaign that they do each year. They've got 3 membership campaigns in Toastmasters. Ralph C. Smedley Award. We've also got the Talk Up Toastmasters Award in February and March, and Beat the Clock in May and June. They could have had that all achieved in 2 weeks. Crazy. And they'll get a 10% discount, etc., etc. So this is your action plan for 25-26. This is your action plan. Objective 1, review your agenda process. If you're not sending out the agenda within 24 hours after the meeting that you've just had, I think maybe that's a touch point that you're going to have with your club executive. I'm sure I've got a few club executive officers here today. So what are you doing to actually get the agenda out? Do a soft agenda 24 hours after, and then a week before the meeting, send another agenda with a follow-up 2 days before, and then a final one 24 hours later. Because that is club growth and that is club excellence. That's how you get new members, and that's how you keep retaining members. Objective 2, assign a guest experience officer. Who's looking after the guests at the meeting? Whose responsibility is it to look after the guests at the meeting? I'm going to pick on Sue. Whose responsibility is it to look after the guests?
I think it should be BPM, right?
No.
Membership, no?
No.
Anyone who is free to do it.
It's everyone's responsibility. It's not one person's responsibility. It's every single member's responsibility to look after every single guest. Every single person that walks through the door, it is everyone's responsibility. Because you don't know, the VPN might be away. I remember I was at a meeting and I was the treasurer, and guess what? Every single club officer was away for some weird and wonderful reason. Guess who the presiding officer was? The treasurer. So I had to look after the guests, but no, because I was busy and I was flat out trying to do the agenda on the night and other things, I had to have everyone's involved in that. So that's why it's everyone's responsibility. Here's a tip. If you have a big club, assign a guest, not only a big club, but anywhere from 8 to 12, 13 to 19, any size, get someone as the vice president of guest experience. They can shadow the vice president of membership and the vice president of education. And guess what? DTM project for the year. There you go. High performance leadership project in the pathway persuasive influence. There you go. What an opportunity. How to tick goals. How to actually do things and make it easy. And objective 3. Commit to creating the wow factor and having that wow moment. So the call to action today is, what will you do at your next meeting to grow your club? That's my little quote for the day. What are you going to do? Encourage members to share in pairs or share the ideas with each other. Go away and ask, what are you guys going to do at your meeting next? This now is the end. Thank you for your engagement for this afternoon, this evening. And we're going to do Q&A. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to Lai.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia. Let's give her a big hand of applause for sharing with us how to maximize our club growth. Now, fellow Toastmaster and friend, any question from the floor you would like to ask her?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, Sonny, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alicia, for the presentation. So, as mentioned previously, we have a lot of guests coming into our meeting every single week. So we're on a hybrid setting, so online and on-site. I want to get your thoughts on how we can engage those audience both online and on-site. Maybe we should distribute our roles like to all the excos, or maybe you have any thoughts on this.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
So one of my clubs is a hybrid club. We've got 22 members, and my club is in the middle of nowhere in the physical sense. I literally mean in the middle of nowhere. It's in country Western Queensland, which is the middle of nowhere. Cows, sheep, paddocks, grass. It takes about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours to drive to the nearest city, which is Brisbane in Queensland. However, guess what? They've been running for almost 10 years a hybrid meeting. Everyone is a role player. And I'm going to invite all of you along to this week's meeting. It's called Gundawindi Toastmasters Club. So if you want to come to Gundawindi Toastmasters Club this Thursday night, live on Zoom, you are most welcome to watch how we engage our members at that club. You'll see the Toastmaster Day will be online. The timer might be online, and usually the timer is online. God love Marg. She's the best timer in the planet. She loves the role, and she's very strict about it. We talk to each other before and after the meeting, especially before. We make sure that the members are engaged. Sometimes people come on 30 to 45 minutes before the meeting, and there is communication. It has to go together. Another thing with the online setting is we ask the people in person to line up before the camera and introduce themselves one by one. Hi, I'm Alicia, and I'm here from blah, or I am a member, and I'm completing the role of Sergeant at Arms, etc. Every single person gets 15 seconds in person to introduce themselves to the online, because sometimes the online people will not see every single person in person. Get them to stand in front of the camera to visualize what the experience is going to be like in person if they're online. We've retained a couple of our members who moved from Gundawindi all the way back to Brisbane because they missed the experience and they still wanted to stay in that club. We got 10 out of 10, I think, last year. That's how good the quality of the meeting is. So if we can do it, anyone can do it. And it's in the middle of nowhere, dare I add, the middle of absolute nowhere. If we can do it, anyone can do it. So engaging and making sure that everyone is engaged and not leaving the people online behind. Thanks for your question. The next one is Sunny, and then Rizky.
Hi,
Sorry?
Alicia. Thank you for your interesting materials. So I have tried to implement the wow factor and welcoming more guests to my meetings, but then it always goes over time by 15 minutes. So do you have any tips on how to balance between this wow factor and guests while keeping the time on time? Thank you.
Okay, are you following the agenda?
Yes, but sometimes like when the things happen slightly over time, I don't want to sacrifice that welcoming guest.
Okay, so my suggestion is so where do you feel that you're going wrong in respect to the timing, and where is the overtiming happening? Okay, so this is my suggestion for you, is if you're going overtime in respect to your meeting, you need to have the speeches before the table topics. This is why I always say speeches should always go first. And think of it, prepared speeches, impromptu speaking, and evaluation. The pie, the 1/3 or the third of each part of the pie. I don't like the table topics going before the speeches. I prefer the prepared speeches first. That way you can balance how many table topics you're going to have. With the introductions, don't have every single person introduce themselves. Get only the guests to introduce themselves. And if you don't have enough time, just choose 3 guests. If you've got, like, say, 10 guests, if you've got that problem, which some of you may have, that's why I would say have the guests introduce themselves, 10 to 15 seconds, why they're here, and how did you hear about us, and what do you want to get out of the meeting. So being really strict on time. 5 table topics. You don't always need to evaluate the table topics. Look, I've been in Australian Toastmasters for 15 years, and overseas, most of the districts don't evaluate table topics. There seems to be an Aussie, Malaysian, and a New Zealand thing to evaluate the table topics, as well as some brief parts of Canada and the USA. Not everyone evaluates the table topics, so cut some of the roles out as well. Make the table topics 1 to 2 minutes and have 5 table topics only. Look at what your agenda, what's the easiest to cull, and do that. That's my suggestion. I'll take Rizky's particular question, and then I'm going to hand back to Lai. Rizky.
I have 2 questions if we still have time, but if not, I will ask 1 question. If I can. Okay, thank you. So I have 2 questions. The first one is Toastmaster always follow the formula like people, speech, table topic, and evaluator. I want to ask you, DTM, Alicia, how we can improve and innovate each session so that each session is not boring. That's the first question. The second one, I think somehow we already create a good and welcoming culture for members. But if members let responding or doesn't respond at all when our expo asks to come or just to have speech, what should we do so that members respond well to
Okay,
our...
can you shorten the question, please? Because it's just too long. It's too elongated and long. What is the question shortly, like in a short version, please?
Okay. The first one, how can we improve each session so that each session is not boring? The first one. The second one, if members doesn't respond our chat or our good communications, what should we do as an expo? That's the question.
Okay. Okay, so the first one, to improve your meetings, make sure that you have the agenda done on time, have theme meetings, and make sure it's an engaging meeting and take the energy to the next level. The second one, is something that as the EXCO, the Vice President of Education, but the President, I think it's the President's responsibility, should call in every single individual member and see how they are. Pick up the phone, don't send a text, don't email, pick up the phone and give the personal touch. That's my suggestion. I have noticed that we've run out of time. I'm 5 minutes over and I'm very aware of time, and I'm going to hand back now to Lai. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our distinguished Toastmaster Alicia and everyone. I asked question was in their mind. What can further improve their club? Now, for the next session, we'd like to present a certificate of appreciation to our speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Alicia. Rizky, is the certificate ready?
Yeah, it's ready. So
let me highlight Alicia first. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I like that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Alicia, get ready. We'll take your picture.
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll highlight one with Lucy.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, get ready. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Taken the picture. Now, to say thank you for everyone for joining us today, and I would like to invite our District 87 Pathway and Training Chair, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Lucy Ho, for the closing remarks. Lucy?
Thank you so much, our speaker, Alicia, all the way from Australia. And I would also like to appreciate our role players today, TM Lai, Timer, and Rizky as our Zoom master. Appreciating also Leonie for sharing the Google feedback form. So appreciate all of the attendance today to fill in the form in the group chat, especially if you're aiming to get the District 87 Lead with Purpose and LLM award. Yeah. So today we actually benefited a lot from Alicia. I hope you guys can stay it and follow Alicia's Facebook page. She does interesting things, and she's actually a well sought after speaker around the world. So after this poster was out, we have district members from other districts also wanting her number to invite her to give the training there. We have benefited the session for today, and Desmond sends his apology. He couldn't be with us as the program quality director because he's currently giving the TLI session for Division S right now. And another announcement, Alfin Abra will be conducting the next training session on onboarding for new members on the 6th